Hi everyone, my name is Alicia Salcido. Welcome to my Week 2 multimedia discussion for MPA 530 California State Budget. In this PowerPoint, I'm going to be reviewing two priorities in the governor's proposed budget, and then I will be reviewing the revised and enacted budget just to see the changes for the state of California. In the state of California, Governor Newsom did propose, which I thought it was two priorities in his proposed budget. First was the universal childcare or preschool. For this, he believed the roadmap for children just to be successful starts at pre-K. So he wanted to offer universal preschool, especially for them to have funding for that, just to have California envisioning that roadmap for children so they can be successful later on in life. Also, for the judicial branch, he was trying to invest more in the court systems. He was trying to have more funding for lower income Californians who maybe can't afford their fines or fees. So this was just his goal because at this point of the budget in January, we were at a surplus in income. So he thought with this extra funding that we did have available, we can expand on different programs. For the revised budget, there has been a drastic change for both the education system and the judicial branch. So first, there is no longer funding for universal preschool. The funding is not available because the education has to be needs to be funded because there is a lack of resources available due to the pandemic that's going on. We just don't have enough of the revenue that was anticipated to supplement all of these new programs and still maintain school facilities and any other programs that's actually required. This goes the same thing for the judicial branch. They were trying to spend more money just to improve the judicial branch, to bring in more resources, but they no longer have that additional fundings to support those ideas. They have to basically change the way how they operate from practicing social distance and doing everything remotely, so that funding has to get alternated. For the enacted budget, Governor Newsom for K through 12 had to get funding from the federal government, and this is just to help not have any negative impact for children who are currently in school. They're trying to find ways and making sure that everyone does have some type of equality, making sure that there is no lack of funding for them, especially because this is very important for children, and when they're not in school physically learning, they have to make sure that remotely they are able to still learn. So they're trying to spend more of the resources on supporting the children and preventing more layoffs because they do need staff available. They're just trying to make sure that everything does work during this time in this current pandemic. That goes for the same thing for the judicial branch. They currently had to just change the way how they process cases and handle stuff. Everything they're trying to do is to be remotely done. They have received some funding to focus on changing the way how they process stuff. They did have a backlog of cases, so they're just trying to implement and find new ways to preventing from backlog and having a new sustainable way for them to function in current society. So the budget has drastically changed from the proposed budget to the revised budget to the enacted budget, and this is all due to COVID. If we didn't have this type of pandemic currently going on, we wouldn't have to be facing these types of budgets to deal with, this is what we really need to focus on. But the good thing is that the state of California was prepared for this, and we are able to see how the funds are actually being allocated to each department. And that was the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for listening.